Welcome to the behind the scenes of the Mystery Darman video. Today we are doing a super tracking video, super motion tracking video, super stabilization motion tracking video, super stabilizing motion tracking video, super califragilisticexpialidociously stabilizing motion tracking video. We're going to be using this old ska song. It's a bunch of samples that I put together into this song. We're adding instruments one by one, and I'm going to be walking around the house, and the camera is going to be tracking me, similar to this. Like wherever I go, the camera is going to be tracking me, which is going to be half the actual camera and half with some motion tracking afterwards and stabilization. We're going to be shooting with the Red Scarlet in 4K, so we can zoom into 1080p without losing any resolution. So we're going to be getting a wider shot than we need, and then zooming into my face so that within that big frame, watch Christian, come here for a sec. So within that actual frame, we're going to be able to be inside of it and not lose any resolution. So we set up two little dots on this. This is Christian's record. He has graciously allowed us to use it. We're going to take these guys off so that we can open this up all the way, and that the world around it is going to be spinning. So we're probably going to be placing some stuff here to, get the effect really smartly. We're doing everything in one take, and it's very fast switching between different positions of the camera. So everybody has to be on point. Everybody has to be ready to pounce. So that took about 28 takes, but at the end it looks pretty good. So now we're gonna head back to the office and we're gonna start putting it all together. A lot of tracking. I think it's gonna be a lot of hand tracking for this, so it's gonna be a lot of work. I'm gonna keep working on the music, and Grayson's gonna start on the tracking. So here we go. So Grayson's gonna go through the footage, and for the different parts like the record spinning and the bass parts and the singing parts and the face parts, he's gonna pick 2 points, for example like the two sides of my glasses, and stabilize it so that everything else around the point is moving and the 2 points stay in the same place. So for the record, it's gonna be on the record, the actual world and record player are gonna be spinning around it, but the actual record's gonna stay still. We shot at a really high shutter speed so that there's no motion blur. So when something's moving around, here's a freeze frame of this. So you see that there's a lot of motion blur, but when you shoot at a higher shutter speed, the camera sees more of the in-between. And when there's a freeze frame of that like this, there's less motion blur. So now we need to add motion blur back in. And we can't just do it with the After Effects motion blur, because it'll add motion blur to the entire thing that's spinning around, including the things that we stabilized. We want everything except for the things that are stabilized to have motion blur. So the only way to do that is to look at the entire frame and look at a couple frames before, look at a couple frames after, see what's moving, and add motion blur to only the things that are moving, not to the things that are stable in the middle of the shot. So Grayson tracked all the footage, I added all the motion blur in, now we just have to add the transitions and work on the music, and that'll be done. So in case you want to check out the final video, make sure you click right there, or you can check out this week's episode of The Sandbox right there. See you guys later. Thanks for watching The Sandbox. Make sure you also check out Sync.